13 days. Taste that beautiful bourbon on my lips. Welcome back. Third Street Reactions. Zach.
I'm Shane.
We're back with BoJack. Season 1. Episode 9. So, you remember what happened with Herb?
Yeah, it was a shit show. Really?
It was a shit show.
Yeah,
He got robbed by a bunch of fucking beach bum bitches that were wearing ski masks and...
Yeah, but then she took it off and had this real emotional conversation, and they ended up leaving him there.
They ended up... He said, what did he say?
They robbed him? No.
Yeah, they robbed him because he says, I'm letting my guard down. He goes, look, he's letting his guard down. And then they fucking... So the whole thing was just an act.
Yeah. And but the big thing about it was just unveiling what they kind of been leading up to with Herb. And, you know, it revealed the past between him and BoJack. And he got Herb got BoJack's career started. And yeah, and BoJack was kind of a different guy back then. You know, he didn't drink before big shows. He wanted to be sober.
Very different guy.
Him and Herb they were close friends. They were trying to make it in Hollywood, which is hard to do. And
well, Herb did have a thing for him.
Yeah,
because Herb was gay or bisexual, one of the two.
Yeah,
and I don't think that really affected things in the long run. I mean, Herb left for a while, right? And then they caught back up with each other.
No, well, they were both in the business together, and then a few years went by. No, it was like 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was
I know they were starting to get kind of bitter towards one another.
Well, they were just kind of like in the business, and they weren't close, but he was writing the scripts, and BoJack was the star, and he was kind of becoming a prima donna.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Herb made a mistake, and then they want to can him, and he wanted his friend to stand by his side, which I think is understandable. Mm-hmm. And then BoJack didn't.
Nope.
And, you know, I think that's a complex issue. But, no, it was... I think the big thing was, like, do you think BoJack needed to forgive Herb?
You mean Herb forgive BoJack?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think he had to.
No, I don't think he'd have to. I like to think if I was Herb, I would. But I don't know. I mean, I guess forgiveness, like, what is forgiveness? Is it like us reconnecting and saying, hey, let's move on? Or is it me not feeling it anymore? I think most people feel it for a long time, but they choose to, like...
I think it depends on what you want more. You know, I mean, if you're looking at a scenario like a lot of people have been in, including myself, where you've been dealt a pretty, very, very shitty hand by someone.
Yeah.
Or like, I guess I should say you put all your cards on the table for someone and they just fucking lit them on fire.
Yeah.
Something like along those lines. Anyway, and you get to a point where that resentment or something, like maybe your desire to move on is greater now than the resentment.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just, in a manner of speaking, kind of just let it go. It's not necessarily forgiveness, but you're already past the point.
Well, it wasn't like an active. It wasn't like this act of this reconciliation where you were trying to...
I guess it depends. I mean, if it's a spouse... a marriage where someone's cheated or something that's deep where you have to find a way to forgive the other person if you're wanting to try to make something work.
Yeah.
Just any scenario like that. I mean, where it's like, by God, like the time's already, it's all water under the bridge and there's nothing you can do. It's like that old man at the end of No Country for Old Men. Mm-hmm. When he says, you ever thought about going and killing the guy that did this to you when he's sitting in the wheelchair? Yeah. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm surprised to hear you say that. He's like, well, after a while, you start losing more of yourself when you're doing that, for vengeance or whatever. He's like, after a while, you just have to kind of get a tourniquet on it.
Kind of surprised to hear you say that.
Well, all the time you spend trying to get back what's been took from you, more is going out the door. After a while, you just have to try to get a tourniquet on it.
So you can lose yourself and obsessing over this pain that's been caused.
Yeah, I agree. People definitely do that.
Well,
I guess I've always tried to take pain and turn it into something good instead of, I mean, for the most part, I'm not perfect at it. I try to take pain and use it as motivation for something positive instead of allowing it to consume me. Because I feel like if I didn't do that, it would definitely consume me.
Oh, yeah. It's consumed me.
Yeah. So, no, I liked it. It was, I think someone left a comment about it. And, the show was about, Herb didn't forgive him. And then BoJack has to live with that. And he shouldn't have to forgive him. I mean, I think forgiveness is generally a good thing. But it's not always that simple with these characters. That's not what happened, and that happens in life.
Yeah, it's not. There's no, at least to me.
Yeah.
Some people there is, but there's no written law of life that you have to forgive people. Some people are worse off for it, and some people, just it's circumstantial. I mean, if you're a believer, in some cases,
of a higher power
I think your higher power might expect you to lay out some forgiveness.
Yeah.
So,
well, we were talking about earlier. I think at the very least, it's normally good karma, right?
Well, it is. I mean, if you keep stirring the pot. I mean, by just resentfully throwing it back in their face, and treating people that way routinely because you can't let this one thing go. I mean, it poisons the water. Yeah,
and that negative energy you put out there is going to surround you and take you down.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
I think eventually it just gets everyone to just
invokes
the
like you
ire.
said earlier, you reap what you sow. You believe in that.
I do. There's two things I took away from my religious days. It's like you reap what you sow, and a laborer deserves his wages.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know. Wine is good. I'm sure it says somewhere.
I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
Anyways, no. Yeah, it was a great episode, and it was a shit show. But the big thing was him kissing Diane at the end, and it was just.
And she rejected it, and he was just left there on the beach.
Yeah, and then it ended, and then I edited that one. I had this slow kind of zoom in. It was black and white, and I took the sound out of it. Yeah, but that's it.
So, should we talk about how you just tried to kiss me?
No, I don't think we need to talk about that.
Yeah, you're right. What's to talk about, right? We're friends, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, friends. Well, see you later.
We're still a few miles.
A walk. It's a beautiful night.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry.
Hope it's not the interstate.
Yep.
Lord
Todd,
knows
we
you
gotta
can't
stop
walk
this
on
way.
then.
Todd? Oh, crap, I left him in Malibu.
Doesn't Diane want to marry Mr. Peanut Butter?
No, see, she thinks she does. And put her own feelings aside and sabotage our friend's engagement.
Wait, what?
I got here as soon as I could.
So I'm gonna let you off with a warning this time.
Great news. I got to ride in a police car. Bad news, I lost my driver's license.
Let me guess.
All about that.
Chasing the mailman again?
Yeah, why? Did you see him out there too?
Right now, I'm working, and I have a lot of thoughts in my head, and I can't really think about our wedding or the future or me being married to you.
Okay, what's going on? Talk to me like I'm Michelle Pfeiffer in the Coolio video. Honey, relax. Getting married is easy. I mean, I've already done it twice.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I just need to focus on the book right now.
I'm not sure how I feel about breaking and entering, BoJack.
Have you got your toolkit?
Check.
Burner phone?
Check.
Cyanide capsule?
Check. Wait, why do we need...
Okay, let's get started.
Oh, gosh.
Plant incriminating.
Hello? Todd?
Hi, Mr. Peanut Butter.
Take the cyanide, Todd. Take the cyanide.
Are you here to interview to be my driver?
Yes I am.
Brilliant. I didn't even post
Good
the
thing
ad
Mr.
yet.
Peanut Butter's an idiot.
I know.
Ha! No respect indeed. Todd, you got the job.
Can you believe this weather we're having?
Look who's not dead.
Better than not dead. You were looking at Mr. Peanut Butter's new driver.
You're his driver? That's perfect. Now you can infiltrate Mr. Peanut Butter's inner circle. And once you zero in on his Achilles heel, we will take him down.
Hooray! Betrayal.
Listen, I was looking over my notes, and I think I have enough to go write the book. So, I'm just going to do that?
You don't want to interview me anymore? But don't you want to know what my rosebud is?
Why'd you have to make things weird, BoJack?
I made things weird?
So, if you see anything you know we need, like this biscuit warmer.
Oh, yeah. Did I not tell you? They called off their wedding.
What? Thank God! Oh, the universe makes sense!
They decided against a big destination wedding, so they're doing it here sometime next month.
What?
I guess saying they called it off is probably not right.
Everybody, nobody moves, nobody
I
gets
think I recognize that voice.
What an unfortunate surprise!
Well,
This woman? Yeah.
had a pretty ring.
That ring is a symbol of your love. If you don't care about the ring, it really makes me wonder if you care about the woman wearing it.
That terrifying bank robber is making some very cogent points.
Hey, why are we even waiting a month to get married? If anything, this bank robbery is reminding me that life is short.
We should get married even sooner.
Eel. The taser.
That's one of like the best parts of the show. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to get married again. Don't get me wrong. I love Diane so much. I didn't have any doubts until I realized she had doubts. Then I figured she's smarter than I am. Maybe she knows things I don't. But I keep having this dream where she's gone. There's no breakup, no tragedy. She's just gone. And my life continues without her. And it terrifies me to say this, but in the dream I feel relief. Hey, thanks for listening to all this. You're a really good friend, Todd.
Margot Martindale?
But first,
That's her
pizza
name.
for breakfast? The answer
gonna put
might
it together.
surprise you.
I know her, but how?
Wait, she was at the convenience store the night I bought that video game.
BoJack hired Margot Martindale to make me find that video game so he could kill my rock opera!
Ah, dude.
Diane deserves the best. She's smart and kind and beautiful, and it's gonna be mostly synonyms from here on if I keep going. And I'm in love with her.
Tell her that, BoJack.
She made her choice. Look around. This day is not about you, okay? So maybe you should just stop trying to mess with other people's lives.
I never thought I wanted to get married.
Thanks for coming. I wasn't sure you were gonna make it.
Wouldn't have missed it for the world.
You're a good friend. I'm really glad to know you.
Sorry that if I made things weird. You know, sometimes I feel like I was born with a leak. And any goodness I started with just slowly spilled out of me, and now it's all gone. And I'll never get it back in me. It's too late.
Damn.
Life is a series of closing doors, isn't it?
Don't be sad. Good horsey.
It actually feels kind of nice.
That was our reaction. Now we're going to talk about it.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good follow up.
What would you do if the woman you loved was getting married to someone else?
You know, I don't know. No, if I was in BoJack's situation, if I was him in this situation, not him in his situation, but if I was me in that situation, it would be hard to let go. But in that specific situation, I think he was so directly interfering with him, getting Todd involved.
Yeah.
That, it was just,
One often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it.
Yeah. So
a turtle
if he would have just kind of
in a movie,
been there for her as a friend, with the door open with an open ear, you never know what could have happened. I have learned that sometimes, when you interfere, you kind of do exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. He kind of just sped up the wedding. If they had a year to
go through what they were already going through,
it might have, it might have festered a little bit.
Yep.
And Diane, from I think what the show has revealed to us in the previous episode, was she wasn't completely sure. And I think that message was all
peanut butter.
Yeah, and I think that message was all about a leap of faith. Like, oh, you got faith, but you're not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the show's on for multiple seasons. I don't see it working out long term.
I don't either.
Because of BoJack.
Well, it's his show. I mean, anything can happen anymore with television.
Yeah.
Not everything is set in stone, but peanut butter's too fucking ridiculous and stupid. I enjoy his character. He's funny.
Yeah.
I like the bit with the mailman. That was really good.
That was great.
That was classic. It reminds me of Seinfeld. It was like a Seinfeld moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Newman. Peanut Butter is a nice guy. He's an idiot and he's annoying. But, I'm seeing it through BoJack's eyes. BoJack's a dickhead. I mean, I think he's more of a dickhead than Mr. Peanut Butter is annoying.
I don't know. Mr. Peanut Butter is pretty annoying.
Who'd you rather be friends with? BoJack or Mr. Peanut Butter?
I'd probably have friends with BoJack.
You really?
I could not stand Mr. Peanut Butter.
Someone who's nice and seems to genuinely care about you versus someone who might
I don't think he genuinely cares. You can tell that he's...
I don't think he's
very, very full of himself, which BoJack is too.
Yeah, I think...
But they're on opposite ends of the spectrum.
BoJack is way worse.
I don't know. I can relate to a man that just wants to drink.
Yeah, you can relate, but doesn't mean he's not worse.
But doesn't mean I can spend time with him, though.
Maybe not, but I mean, he's annoying. And
I can't see myself spending time other than at a bar with either of them. And at the bar, it would only be BoJack.
Yeah.
And he'd probably be just that miserable asshole that's always bitching about everything. And, but you know, you're somewhat familiar about that. I'm BoJack, I guess.
Okay, I mean, I feel bad that he made it awkward. I didn't like that conversation. Why'd you make it awkward, BoJack? But like you said, she's kind of elated now. I think it was good for him that he showed up. It's good for him to say what he said. Hey, I wouldn't miss it for the world. It hurts, but I'm going to...
Well, I think she was writing out the emotions of the day, so that made everything that happened seem a little less...
I don't think she could backtrack now, though. You know what I'm saying?
Backtrack.
Yeah, like the next day it's weird. Oh, yeah, but God, this is weird. I think.
No, she won't. Because now I think she's overcome that a little bit with like the feeling of the wedding and how she feels about her decisions and help her overcome it.
Okay.
So, you know, Nantucket. You ever been?
No, but
neither have I.
Gus has, and I heard it was amazing and just
cop car, license and interstate. I'm fucking late. Remind me of Moby Dick.
What did Nantucket?
Nantucket, because it used to be like a whaling mecca of the United States. When we were, everyone else was whaling for thousands of years before us, and then we came in and we started whooping ass. Taking the whaling industry by storm. And, you know, we killed them all. And so we better stop. So
yeah. Well, it's funny what COVID did to the oceans in terms of, like, replenishing them.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, we could go whaling again, boys.
Or we could stop for a year and then go whaling like crazy for probably another 10. You know?
Yeah, and then stop for another year.
Yeah, I think not before that. I think we should do that, but the fishing industry doesn't rest.
I want to get a harpoon in
and
my
we're
hand.
slowly...
I don't want the big gun. I want the harpoon in my hand.
Really? Doesn't seem as effective.
They killed them all the time like that back then.
I know, but like you'd rather gun hunt than bow hunt. When you rather have something like an upgraded version of the harpoon.
Well, you're talking about something that's...
You want to go...
You've seen a harpoon gun?
Yeah, I've seen Free Willy 3. A Free Willy 3, baby.
Humongous fucking gun.
Yeah, they tried... Free Willy 3.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's a huge fucking gun. Sorry.
But anyway...
one thing BoJack said was like... He didn't necessarily want to date Princess Carolyn. He just wanted to know that he could, and when he couldn't, he was upset.
Yeah.
So I always thought that
I like how they're addressing a lot of these serious issues in the show. I mean,
yeah, for real, because I think people do that, and I don't think I've ever done that, honestly.
Well, they always categorize it as people typically categorize those kind of scenarios.
Yeah.
Like, it has to do with the person and not because of you. They take themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you just mentioned that it's because he couldn't that he was upset.
Yeah.
It's like Gaston and Beauty and the Beast, man. He just wanted Belle because, he could have her. He couldn't have her, but you know what I mean? She was the best looking one in town. She was the one that couldn't be captured. The Great Hunt.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. But I think the problem is the way BoJack, how he would be disinterested in her.
And Caroline.
If he became disinterested when she became disinterested in him.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of when guys do that, when they break up with a girl and then that girl moves on. They say, well, now I want her back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, because they want you to want me.
Yeah.
Just like that song.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to want me by whoever the fuck.
I want you to want me. I need you to need me.
Well, anyway, Margot Martindale, someone in the comments pointed out to me, and it just blew over my head. She was in Justified.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite villains in TV is Mags Bennett.
Okay.
She was in charge of this little family that kind of ran a crime industry. I don't know if it revolved around, I can't remember now if it was marijuana or what.
Okay.
I think that's what it was, drugs.
She was
really cool.
Yeah.
And it goes out well, and one of the better villains in that series, because a lot of the other villains are just sometimes kind of hokey.
Okay.
But not in a hillbilly way. I mean, just like kind of wonky.
Yeah. Well, if it is who I think it is, I think I've seen other things. Does she play like a woman in a diner?
Yeah.
Saying, hun? Hun?
Well, maybe. Because there's a couple of them.
Well, she's in something. What's her name again?
Margot Martindale. You look up Mags Bennett from Justified.
Okay.
Mr. Peanut Butter did bring up how many times you've been married before. Quite a bit.
Yeah, and every time you get remarried, your chances of divorce are greatly increased. There's one statistic, like if you wait long enough time, and if it's something to do with if you're in this certain age, then that statistic doesn't apply to that, but that's like a minority of people who do that. Lots of times,
waiting a long time to get married again.
Yeah, and being in a certain age.
Oh, like was then like
it's
under,
like if
under a certain age.
Like if you get married under a certain age and you get divorced and you get married, it's like over 12 years later. And then, like the likelihood you get divorced is not as great as most people who get married and then remarry within 5 years and then remarry within 5 years. And usually they get remarried within 3 years after the third marriage. Yeah,
makes sense.
When BoJack, sometimes this show has these really elegant things where he talks about, I was born in this life with a leak.
Yeah, and all it was good just
slowly came out, and now you can't get it back. That was that was kind of deep. I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling. I don't know if it's true, but I don't know if I think people can relate to it. It's definitely interesting to think about.
I think you force it all out eventually.
Some people do. Yeah, I don't have anything else. It was a great one. But
biscuit warmers, man.
Yeah, I don't think I've had those. I feel like you just put a towel over them.
Just fucking cook it and eat it.
Yeah.
There's not much nutritional value in a biscuit anyway. Just put that fucker in the microwave.
And I keep thinking, are his biscuits like those dog biscuits? That's what I'm thinking about.
That's actually possible.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But why would it apply to her when he said,
I don't know. We don't.
Biscuits?
I mean, I think we have seen in funny situations, the birds or the other animals eat their thing, but they don't make a big deal of it. I don't think the creators try to address the rules of the universe too much. It would probably turn upside down.
It's got to be a regular biscuit warmer. Like everyday biscuits. Why would it apply to her? To Diane?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, to me, you don't get much nutritional value out of a biscuit. Either put that fucker back in the oven on low to warm it back up slowly.
Yeah.
Or put it in the microwave. Why the fuck would you waste money on a biscuit?
Just put up 50% power. Warm it up for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So why would you waste money on a biscuit warmer?
I don't know. For social gatherings, weddings.
It's kind of like a beer koozie. Why would you be holding it long enough for it to get cold? It should be drank.
When
get warm. Sorry.
I think when it's really hot, they get warm pretty quick.
I drink warm beer all the time.
I know people prefer it. That's why they have the koozies, right? My friend has a koozie because he said he doesn't like. He has ice cold beer, and he doesn't like. He said, I don't like holding ice cold ass shit. So that's why he has it.
Drink it faster.
He still has to hold it, and then he has to grab another one. It's cold. I think he just insulates his hand and insulates the beer. Vincent, adult man. I thought they were going to unveil that he was there's something about
the kids.
Yeah, I thought
it's definitely pretty obvious. He's petting him at the end.
Yeah, I thought they were going to throw the viewer for a loop, but they didn't. They just you don't know. Yeah, but I'm very sure he was that. If they don't address it, then it's obviously that, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had jury duty?
I've been summoned or received a summons several times, and never once had to go in.
What happened?
I guess they just never called me to let me know that the trial was on. They must have just never had it.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a blessing. Yeah. I've never had to go either. I've never been summoned. I had a friend who summoned like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I know, you told me.
Yeah, and I've never had to do it.
I never had to do it either. They probably they probably went through and they probably mail them all out, and they get their back and look at their files. Like, we don't want that guy. And throw them out.
What if you have something crazy going on that day?
Well, I guess you're gonna say fuck that and go get paid $10 for your service to the community.
Like, what if you're getting married that day?
I guess you're fucked.
Would you be? Could you not get out of it?
I don't
know. I know you can get out of
it. I never had to get out of it because they never called me, so I don't know. Last year I haven't got any summons. I wonder why.
I don't get anything else. It was a good one.
Nope, nothing.
Guys, thank you so much for watching our reaction and our review to this TV show. If you like us, you want to support us, well, that's just great, because you can
fantastic.
Like this video and subscribe to the channel. And let us know what you think about the pretty little banner up top.
Old chap.
Yeah, leave a comment down below and tell us what you think. All right?